Hi again.
Today we're going to be talking about some tips for consuming edibles for the first time.
Edibles are a great alternative. Maybe you don't like smoking, or maybe you have a lung condition where you can't smoke, but you're still looking for some relief, some relaxation, enjoyment, help with sleep, pain relief. There's tons of things that edibles are really beneficial for.
Or maybe you're looking for something just a little bit more discreet. Edibles are a great way to consume without having to smoke or vape.
Sometimes you don't want to take a big bong rip, or sometimes maybe you can't smoke a joint where you're at. So edibles are a great discreet alternative that you can enjoy and really help you out and help a lot of people, especially because they're becoming more widely available in the market. It's really easy to get things like gummies and stuff like that from your local dispensaries. Or make your own at home with extra flower that maybe you grow. Like we like to make a lot of our own edibles, butters, oils for infusions, make your own gummies, baking. It's really a great way to use up flower that maybe you don't want to smoke or maybe you can't smoke, but it's an awesome way to still be able to enjoy, get that relief, those effects without having to smoke.
So here's some tips to ensure that you have a safe and positive experience with edibles. So first thing, go low and slow, and be mindful of some delayed effects.
That's a really great tip because edibles can affect everybody differently, just like any form of consumption. You don't know, and that could be based on your tolerance level or how frequently you use. So if you don't really use it very much and you're just trying edibles for the first time, you're probably gonna wanna start with a lower dosage, and you're definitely gonna wanna not take them all at once, but maybe take like a half and then wait.
Some edibles may have a delayed effect, so it's really important for you to remain cautious, even if you don't feel anything initially.
Yeah, definitely wait, see how you feel, and if it's been over an hour and you definitely don't feel anything yet, then maybe try and take the other half and then see how that impacts you. So remember, start low and go slow because everyone's different. Edibles will affect everybody in different ways, so you don't know exactly how long it might take to kick in for you as it might be for someone else. So it's all about the tolerance, how potent they are, and really starting lower and slower is gonna be your best option to make sure you have an enjoyable experience.
Yes, and be mindful of those delayed effects.
So whether you're getting edibles from maybe a friend or family member or purchasing them in a dispo, it's always important to know the potency of the edibles that you're consuming. They can definitely come in a wide variety of strengths and dosages, gummies from 5 milligrams to 20 milligrams to 100 milligrams. Whether you're buying your edibles in a dispensary or getting them from a friend or family member or making your own, it's always important to know the dosages that you're putting into them so you can have a better gauge on how much to consume.
It's always important to check the label for potency, the serving size, and the recommended dosage.
Edibles purchased from a dispensary are going to be more consistent because they are regulated, because they are products for sale on the market. They have to meet certain requirements and potency testing to make sure that they're consistent. Now, if you're making stuff at home with extra flour or things like that you might have, and you want to make sure that your dosages are consistent for the butters and oils that you might be using in cooking, we like to use a product called T-Check that will let you test your oils, infusions, butters, and get you a potency for the milligrams, and it will even give the conversions for how much to use for recipes, tablespoons, and milligrams in the tablespoons of your measurements. So it's a really great tool to use if you're making your own edibles and you want to make sure that you're consistently dosing them. We really do love it, and it lets you test dried flower and infusions to give you a potency and just an idea of where you're at. We really like to use it for our recipes because it helps us gauge how much we're putting in so we can get a consistent effect off the edibles that we make.
Not only is T-Check easy to use, but it is fun, informative. It comes with an app, and it can test a wide variety of things like concentrates, butters, tinctures, flour, and more.
But T-Check is a great option if you're looking to make edibles at home with plants that you're growing and you want to make sure that they have a consistent dosage. T-Check is an at-home kit that makes it really easy. Definitely look into it if you are interested. We do have a discount code that will save you some dollars.
Plan ahead and choose a safe environment.
Yeah, so you just got your first edibles and you're geeked out to try them. Make sure you have it set up so you don't have to operate any heavy machinery. You don't have to go drive anywhere. You have a safe environment planned and ready for your first experience, and start low and slow. Try half, see what happens after 15 minutes to an hour. If you're not feeling anything, try a little more. But the big thing is to make sure for your first time that you're somewhere safe and comfortable and you can enjoy it and gauge the effects yourself to see how you are gonna respond.
Make sure you're in a place where you can have activities planned or feel relaxed in the setting.
That's gonna make for a more enjoyable experience your first time if you're relaxed, you're not stressed, or have to do things that you probably wouldn't want to do if you were on edibles.
Just be aware that the experience could last several hours.
So make sure you plan accordingly so you can enjoy your first experience without being interrupted.
Make sure you're drinking your water, folks.
Yep, have some water standing by so you can stay hydrated, because I personally, sometimes when I have edibles, I definitely get a very dry mouth. And sometimes it can be a little uncomfortable, so having some water to sip on is always the best bet. Water is so good for your body. It's also a good idea to have a light, balanced meal before you consume for the first time, just to make sure you're not trying it on an empty stomach. Sometimes they can have an effect of some stomach discomfort, especially on an empty stomach. So just like a medicine, it's not a bad idea to have just a light meal before you try them to make sure you got some food in there to help absorb.
Another tip is to avoid mixing your edibles with any other substance. When you mix your edibles with other substances, like prescription medications, it could off-balance your edible experience, and it might not be so fun for you.
Yeah, there could definitely be some negative impacts. If you are concerned, definitely consult your doctor about it. And if you are taking any medications, definitely look into it to make sure they're safe to try with edibles. You definitely want to be safe about this and not mix it with other things, just because you don't know how it could impact your body. And you want to make sure you're doing this safely. So definitely look into it.
Be careful out there.
Don't mix and match. And lastly, probably the most important thing is knowing your limits and recognizing your tolerance levels so that you can have an enjoyable experience. And this is gonna take time, and this is why we recommend you start low and slow. Always try like a half of a gummy first and look at the milligrams and see how much they are. We would probably recommend between 5 to 10 milligrams for your first try, because it's a pretty low dosage and it's probably gonna have a good effect on you. And if it's not enough, then you can always go up from there. You just don't wanna take too much from the beginning and be in a place where you're not enjoying the experience.
So the best way to enjoy your experience is to learn your limits. And remember, the effects of edibles might not be the same for me as it is for Neil. So it's important to learn what you need.
And it's important to experiment with how much you take till you reach the desired level of pain relief or sleep aid or enjoyment that you're looking for, because everyone's using it for different needs and it affects everybody in such a different way. It's important to try them safely and use these tips to help you enjoy it the most.
We hope that these tips help you have an enjoyable first edible experience.
Please comment down below with your favorite edible experience or any tips that you guys have on trying them for the first time. What's your favorite way to consume? What's your favorite kind of edible? Baked goods, gummies, candies. There's so many out there these days and they're all really great. So make sure you can enjoy them responsibly, have fun, get the relief you need, and get high again.
Enjoy yourself.
If you guys are looking for something cool to look at after you just scarf down a bunch of edibles, go check out our Instagram for tons of behind the scene videos, fun reels, pictures, and more.
We also have our Sunday lives every other Sunday, so make sure you join us on those. If you want to be a big part of our grows, you can join our Patreon and help us vote what goes on in our tents.
Yeah, so fun. Weekly live streams every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Join us, fam, on Patreon. It's a great way to help support the channel, and you get to hang out with us, see what's going on in the tent, vote on the grows, and so much more.
Don't forget that subscribe, that bell, and that like button. Thanks for joining, fam.
See you in the next one.
Bye again. Here's some tips to consume. Here's some tips. Here's some tips to
Here's some tits. Here's some tits. Some tit tips. Titty tips.
So here are some tips. So first, start low, go low.
Start low, get low, drop it to the flow.